welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about this little knife here today. Really pretty hammer brand. And you've heard me say it before. I'll say it again. What if knives could talk? What if knives could talk? But this one did. And I'm going to share with you the conversation that we had with this knife. Should be pretty interesting. Check out the video. Can you make it? Okay, pay attention, be careful. Can you do it? Can you do it? Alright, give me a yay. Hey, welcome back to the Fortified Castle. We're going to be talking about this knife, but before we do, let me just welcome everyone and say hi to all my viewers. If this is the first time you're coming upon my channel, I just love having you. I really value all that you all do for the channel, the support, the likes, the shares, and the comments. Before we get into this knife, next Tuesday, the 27th, August 27th at 5 p.m., we're going to have a live show. Patty's Potato Peeler is going to be there. He's my sidekick. And we're also going to have the Knife Doctor there. Kevin was really gracious. He's a busy guy, but man, I'm telling you, he is busy. But you know, he agreed to take a little bit of time out to do the live show with us, and I really appreciate that. I know you all have a lot of questions to ask him. I have a lot of questions to ask him, and so it's going to be a good show. And let's get into the story on this knife. All right, so why this knife? You know, I just go through my collection every now and then, and I'm just looking at knives and giving them a little love. You know how we just take these things, we throw them in a drawer, we throw them in a coffee box, a cigar box, or a cup, or some other type of thing. And, you know, they just need a little love every now and then, and that's what I was going to do. But when I got this knife out, it asked me if it could take a walk. And I was like, okay, well, that's a good idea. We'll take a walk. Where do you want to walk? And it said it wanted to walk down memory lane. And so that's what we're going to do with this little knife today. We're going to walk down memory lane. He's a handsome little fella, isn't he? Look at those colors. And this is a Senator, a two-bladed Senator from Hammer brand. Really nice shape on this knife. Not exactly mint condition, but, you know, pretty good shape on it. That's your little pen blade right there. Really nice. Good snap on this knife, too. It is the shellback construction. More on that in a minute. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to let this knife tell its story as we walk down memory lane with it. So we were out for a walk, and this knife shared with me that it was born in Providence, Rhode Island. That's where Imperial Schrade, which is its daddy, lived. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. And as we walked by the factory, it pointed out to me that was where it was made, and that it was very, very busy when they made this knife here. He also shared with me that this type of design, the way that he was made, was first done in 1936 by Imperial Schrade to fight the cheap imports flooding into America, to make knives affordable to the average person. And they certainly were. And these knives were really popular. And he told me, in fact, that by 1938, his design was so successful that Imperial decided to make all of their knives in the clamshell faction. So initially, Hammer brand was bought to provide a separate line of shellback knives, and then Imperial decided to make all of their knives shellback knives, and so that's how that happened. He's also told me he's really proud to be an Imperial knife. It's not as fancy as some of them Yale type knives, the ones you see like from Robeson that have fancy mother of pearl, and the beautiful Remingtons and New York Knife Company knives. Very proud to be a knife that led in knife sales in America. And he came from the company that was the largest knife company in the world. He also shared with me that in 1940 they were making 100,000 knives a day. Imagine that. In 1940, 100,000 knives. I'm sorry, not a day, a month. 100,000 knives a month. And that's incredible. But he ended up in Michigan and loved his owner a lot. His owner loved him, took him everywhere, just put him in his top pocket. Men had pockets in their shirts in those days, and typically would put a pen, some paper, maybe their penknife in the top pocket. And wasn't a lawyer or anything like that, but had his own business, had a gas station, making a living, and eventually his owner loved him so much, but it was time to pass him off to his son, and so this knife was given to his son, and his son carried this knife, but later it became much more than a knife. It was a cherished possession, because the son would look at this knife when his dad was long gone and remember those moments with his dad, and the thought and concern of his dad to give him this knife, to pass it on to him. And it just meant so much more than a knife. And then after the son passed away, the knife just sat in a drawer for a long time. And finally somebody said, well, let's see if somebody else has some use for this. And that's when this knife found me. And it hadn't been cherished. It was dirty, rusty, hadn't been loved in a long time. And when I got this knife, it was just eager to go back to work, to cut things, and to become a cherished part of family. And that's what it is. It's part of my family now, along with many other knives, but I cherish it just like every other knife. Hope you enjoyed the video.